ungemein überzeugender Auftritt. Es geht alles bei den Kreuzheimern. Wieder der Dreier Coleman. Die tanzen hier teilweise übers Parkett.
All right, welcome Tim. Thank you for stopping by today. How are you feeling today?
You know, in a better mood today. My spirits are up today, so yeah.
That's good. Sun's out. You're doing a little better.
Yeah, you know, it's been a rough, you know, little period for me. Just sitting at home, dealing with the injury. So yeah, it's just been crazy.
Understandable. To pick right up with the injury, you mentioned it. So unfortunately, your season was cut short due to the injury. How's your recovery been so far, and what have the Merlins organization done for you and support you throughout this process?
Well, first off, Merlins have been great. You know, I've been to every appointment I needed to be at. Doctors, their connections are excellent. So as far as from, you know, everything I would need, the Merlins, you know, couldn't do it any better, I don't think. As far as the process itself, it's been ups and downs, honestly. You know, I was talking to Martin the other day and just giving him, you know, a kind of idea of what's been going on in my head. You know, at first, you know, you have like these, you know, the stages of grief, I guess. And, you know, the depression is, you know, kind of like, ooh, you know, it's just sitting there. And, you know, you just got to stay positive. For me, that's, you know, I have my good days and bad days. Some days it's just like, man, I can't play. And then there's another day too where I don't think this is getting better. You know, it's not even like, can I not, you know, I don't even think about can I not play again, because I still have a long healing process. But, you know, it's been 3 months and some days it'll still be hurting. And, you know, other days I'll be like, oh, I think I can walk on it. But, you know, so it's a up and down emotional thing, honestly, all the time. So, but I think this is going to be good, you know, for me on a mental level, you know, dealing with adversity, you know, how to deal with tough situations. And if I can just find a way to, you know, stay motivated, because, you know, it's kind of hard to when you're like, oh, I'll be out for a year, and just you could kind of give up, so to speak. You know, if I could learn to stay motivated and just push through and stay positive, I think I'll turn out better than what I was before the injury. So
absolutely. I mean, it's a roller coaster. You got to go through the ups and downs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're glad that you're doing well. Your mental side, your physical side, I mean, obviously it's going to get better. It's just a matter of time. So before you got hurt, you were a key player for this team. What defines this team, and how high is the ceiling for the remainder of the season? Like, can you kind of talk about the successes and how this team has been able to be so successful this season?
I think that what made us successful is that we were always in an uncomfortable environment. As you can see throughout the season, you know, not every game was pretty, or, excuse me, you know, some people would have things to say about, oh, you guys need to do this, you guys are messing up here, but we somehow always were able to pull it out. And I think that was a testament, because practice is always, you know, uncomfortable, high intensity, and, you know, you try to imitate, you know, what the game situation is going to be like. And if I had to compare with the games in practice, you know, practice was by far worse, especially, you know, the length of time. And I think that is what makes the difference with us and other teams, and why we were so successful this year. Also, too, you know, we have besides the coaching staff, you know, who are around the clock, you know, studying the game. You know, we have great talent. I don't think anybody thought the talent-wise would be what it would be coming in. I know Merlins is not one of the higher budget teams, and so they're, you know, oh, we got to compete with bigger teams. But, you know, this core group of guys, you know, from where I come from, you know, we're hoopers. We, you know, we get it how we got to get it. So we don't care about names or other teams. You know, we just play basketball. And you have to prove to us, you know, the individuals that you're better than us. It's not about what media says or what, you know, even what coaches say about the hype. No, you have to prove to me on this court, are you better than me? And I think every guy on the team kind of carries that mentality. And, you know, I think when you combine all those different aspects of tough practices, excellent coaching, and, you know, everybody's good in this league, but with that kind of mentality, you know, I think you could get a good formula for success.
Yeah, you mentioned that, you know, you're a hooper. You just want to get the job done. There's been a lot of different injuries, people having to step into different roles. You were one of the players who came in as a small forward, but started out the season as a point guard. Is there going to be a future career change, maybe a new point guard, or what's your plan on that?
It's funny because I always, you know, when I was younger, I was like, I want to be a point guard. And as like my career went on, I kind of, you know, didn't think about it too much, like, because I was always on a team with point guards, so I never really had to focus on, you know, other things like just score, play defense, you know, just do me. But this year was a culture shock. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like point guard, like, and I think, you know, finding that balance between not thinking and thinking was like, oh, like some days I'm like, like, don't think about it, just play basketball. Then it's other times you're like, oh, you got to figure out how to get certain guys involved. So I think to answer your question, I prefer to play the 2 guard. You know, you think sometimes you get to do more of the, just play basketball side. But, you know, at the end of the day, I could play anything and I'll do what I need to do. So, but we're going to say Tim is a 2 guard right now. We're not going to go point guard professional.
I mean, it's definitely a good thing to have on your resume per se.
Yeah.
So, you know,
definitely.
If you're needed, you'll be able to step in.
Yeah. And I definitely think now I can play the point guard now for sure. At first it was like, you know, you have all these different ideas of what a point guard is and what you're supposed to do. And then, you know, kind of putting the team more on your back. Like, you know, it's different when, you know, you're a scorer and you like, oh, you put a team on your back. But point guard is literally an extension of the coach. So it's a whole different thing. And now that I got that year and I know like how to play pick and rolls and see defenses, I think next year if I had to do it, it would probably be like a smooth transition with how I play and everything else. So
yeah, it's hopefully it made you a better basketball player overall.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Yeah.
That's a good thing. Now, we're going to stop looking into the past and going into the future. You'll be moving back to the States here pretty soon. How will you remember your time in Kreilsheim, the Merlins, and especially your teammates?
The memories are great. You know, this team is full of personalities. One of the better cohesive teams I've been on. You know, actually, I've had quite success with team chemistry since I've come to Europe. But this is a really good team. You know, we kind of clicked right off the jump. And I have nothing really bad to say about the team or anything. Obviously, you know, you complain about practice. Practice is hard. But even the coaching staff, you know, I have no complaints about that or management. It's been really, you know, a pleasant experience for me. Sadly, Corona was in the way, so I don't think, you know, I got to fully get the full immersion of everything. You know, we couldn't really have like team events the way we probably would to further deepen our, you know, understanding of one another. You know, me and Martin was talking about it before, like, you know, he's usually a lot more involved in communicating with guys. And, you know, so I think COVID has kind of, you know, gotten in the way of a lot of things, and especially just being in Germany as a whole. So.
Yeah, I mean, even though you weren't able to see the fans as much as you would like to, they were there for sure. They were supporting you guys. So what are your next steps moving forward? You know, looking in for the upcoming weeks, moving back, what are you looking forward the most back home?
Just to be able to spend time with my friends and family. You know, since high school, you know, in the States, you don't really, you know, once you decide to take basketball seriously, you don't really, you know, you kind of sacrifice that. So I haven't been able to be with my family for about 8 years, you know, to actually be home for events, you know, just be there. You know, I have siblings that are growing up and I missing everything. So that's, I think, you know, what I'm going to be most excited for. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So really happy you get to do that. We're really happy you get to see your family, spend time with them, especially in a time like this. So Tim, we really appreciate your time here, your hard work and dedication. You will forever be a part of our family here with the Merlins.
Appreciate
and
it.
we wish you the best of luck for your future endeavors, you know, whether it's basketball or any other route you take.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And same to you guys.
Alle Spiele der Easy Credit BBL live, nur beim Magenta Sport.